Hi, I'm Chuck Kemper.
Hi, and I'm Daphne Kemper.
We've been members of Cypress UMC for 7 years now. I've participated in finance committee. I've been an adult Sunday school teacher and still am today. I've been a part of the drama team, and I've done various other volunteer activities through the years.
Yeah, and I was once an office angel for our church office, and now I'm a teacher at V1s, and I'm also a Sunday school teacher for our children's Sunday school.
It was about 8 years ago that we were looking for a new home church. A friend of ours suggested we try Cypress, and we did. And ever since that first visit, we've been coming, and we joined soon thereafter. Cypress United Methodist Church has been a place for us to experience the love of Christ, the opportunity to serve and demonstrate the love of Christ to others. It's been a place to learn, and it's been a place to lean on. One specific example that comes to mind for us, when we received some traumatic news in 2013, on that day, friends of ours found out who were in our Sunday school class, and they said, "Can we come over tonight?" And we said, "Sure." And they came over, and they brought a meal. But what I remember is we sat, we talked, we laughed, cried a bit. They left us just feeling like we truly saw Christ that night. It's a night I'll never forget, and it's certainly not the only time that we have seen a very tangible expression of Christ's love inside of our church.
Well, this church has also been a great place for us to practice obedience and also to trust in God through our consistent tithing and other offerings that we have. We have seen God works in His ways, how He uses those resources in ways that we could have never imagined, or we could have never done it by ourselves. And the things that was very obvious were things like, we have a great team of staff here. We could provide free VBS for the children in our community. And in fact, the latest thing is, with all these disasters going on, maybe we can be out there to help them with no strings attached.
A church is certainly not the physical structure or the campus, but all of those things allow ways, they facilitate, enable various paths for Christ's love to follow, for ministry to be done to others, for people to learn and to grow within the bounds of that campus. It allows you to invite folks in from the community and do things. And in our case, we have a deteriorating campus in many ways. We have problems with our buildings, with our facilities that need to be addressed. We've tried patchwork through the years. We've tried Band-Aids. We've done emergency coverage on some things where there's been failures of equipment and systems. But we are at a stage where if we don't do some real renovation, some real rehab work on our facility, it's going to cost us much, much more in the future to get it done. We also have the desire to have additional equipment in our facility to do other things. We want to improve the aesthetics, to make it a more pleasant place in which to do ministry, to make it more attractive. And we want to retire debt. Our church has done a tremendous job of bringing down the debt, really impressive. That debt takes about $150,000 every year out of the annual spend, out of a budget that's just under $2 million. That's a significant percentage. Once and for all, we want to finish off that debt so that it's no longer a burden, and we put that money to work toward ministry. Sacrificial giving is something that we find to be an interesting term. While, yes, sacrificial giving means giving up something in order to contribute, the reality is the return that you see when you are obedient, when you do present gifts, is a return that, like Daphne said earlier, it's nothing we could ever generate ourselves. For God's economy is so different from our economy. And it's a joy, it's a pleasure to watch what He does with those gifts. So sacrifice, yes, but wow, the return on that investment is just immeasurable. For us, we had a time in our life just 4 years ago now, where we needed to enter into a time, certainly I think we considered it sacrificial giving at the time, And while we've been regular tithers for a long time, we had information that I was going to lose my job in 3 months. So we had a choice before us, and it was we could lean on our own understanding, we could try to take action on our own and leave God out of it, trust in ourselves, or we could trust in God. We could follow Psalm 55:22, which is cast your cares on the Lord and he will sustain you. So we chose to trust in the Lord and cast our cares upon him, which meant we were going to keep tithing, even though we didn't know where the paycheck was going to come from in 3 months' time. And so we did that. We obediently tithed throughout that. And to add to our circumstances, Daphne happened to be pregnant at that time.
Yes, I remember those 3 months felt like 3 years. And it's hard. I mean, with my messed up hormones, being pregnant, having to deal with a 2-year-old. What else was like?
You're a planner.
Yes, I'm a planner. And I just needed to know everything, what's going to happen next. But this time, I don't get to know what's coming up next or where we're going to get our next paycheck from. We had a lot of sleepless nights, or I had a lot of sleepless nights. But God was good. God is good. The last day of Chuck's work, he was granted a new offer of his new job, which he has been in now since then for 4 years.
We call it God's timing.
Yes.
So I've been in that role for 3.5 years now. You know, for that reason, all the other reasons that we listed, we decided that with this campaign, before the campaign even started in November, we made our pledge, and we decided to prepay our pledge in advance. So we did that. And then a couple nights ago, sitting in a home meeting, I was looking at the sheet of paper that showed the different size gifts that one might consider and how many we needed in each size. And I saw the amount that we had pledged and paid, and I had this nudge from God that said, Chuck, you guys can double. You can do double what you've committed to. We got out to the car after the home meeting, and I mentioned it to Daphne, and she said, we need to pray about this. And she was right. We did need to pray about this. Now here we are a couple of days later. We've prayed, we've talked further, and we've decided that's what we're going to do. We are going to double the pledge that we have made and paid, and trust in God and sit back and watch the wonderful things that he's going to do with that money. Now, we have an invitation for you, for everyone.
So here's the thing. I'm known for wanting to know things, to plan things. And a lot of times when I want to do that, God takes over. So this time, not only I'm going to trust my husband, I'm going to trust the Lord and his nudges. And I'm going to choose to walk by faith and not by sight. So I'm going to invite you to join me, pray about it, and see where God leads you. And hey, this is coming from a warrior and a planner. So if I can do it, I'm sure y'all can do it too.
Thank you.